Yo, what is up guys? It's me, Zach Lee, and coming up with a different intro every day is not as easy as it seems. I think it's pretty safe to assume that the Lakers are gonna take Lonzo Ball with a number 2 pick in this year's draft. Just seems like a foregone conclusion. And of course, with Lonzo being a point guard and D'Angelo being a point guard, it has some people questioning the fit. If the two of them could actually mesh together in the backcourt. Now, I personally think that they'd be great together. You know, Russell is big enough to play the two at 6'5", and he has shown at times this year that he is a more efficient scorer when he's playing off the ball. And some people think he could be a phenomenal shooting guard, someone to try and fill in the hole that Kobe left. Heck, some of those people think that he could be the next Kobe for LA. Maybe even Russell, since his Twitter bio does say #loading with the finger pointing up at Kobe. But still, there are some people questioning the fit. And as it turns out, one of the people that might not be too fond of having Lonzo in LA is D'Angelo Russell, as Russell liked this tweet yesterday. Watching D'Angelo Russell highlights from this year makes me think there is no way the Lakers should draft Lonzo. They're stupid if they do. So that's it. He liked this tweet, and of course people went crazy. The media made story after story after story about this, and of course Lakers fan reacted to this, and the next thing you know, this is a viral story. And all of this because he liked a tweet. This is 2017, and if it makes people feel any better, Russell has since then unliked the tweet. But come on guys, do you understand how easy it would be to accidentally like a tweet or an Instagram post? I mean, Curry did it earlier in the year. Remember when he liked the Instagram post of LeBron saying the Cavs were in a bad spot at the moment, and then he later commented saying that it was an accident? Like, it happens all the time. And I'm sure Russell's mentions are full of stuff that would make headlines if he liked it on purpose or on accident, and he just happened to like that one and everyone went crazy. So I'm not taking anything away from this. Could D'Angelo actually not want Lonzo on the Lakers? Sure, maybe, who knows? But this tweet doesn't prove anything. And now I'm starting to think that yesterday was just some type of collaboration amongst the players to troll the media on social media. Not too long after the D'Angelo story made headlines, this one came out too, as Jimmy Butler and DeAndre Jordan got into a heated exchange on Instagram. So Jimmy posts this photo with the caption reading "haircut needed." DeAndre Jordan then comments saying, "Badly, I'll even pay for it," to which Butler responds with, "I expected it from you, so I can't even be mad. But I never liked you anyways, I was acting the whole time." And then DJ ends it by saying, "You see what you did? Now baller alert and everyone looking at this. I'm gonna win this war, stupid haircut. I'm not paying for it now, you lost your chance, James." Now those two guys are clearly friends on and off the court. I mean, they were both part of the 2016 NBA Olympic team, and both of them are just seen as silly guys off the court, especially DJ. The thing I found most funny about this though is that DeAndre Jordan was commenting on Jimmy Butler's haircut when he has more hair than Jimmy Butler in the first place. This man Lavar Ball is a marketing genius. Like, he knows exactly what he is doing. Might not be paying off for him big time yet, but he's headed in the right direction. Well, most of the time.
This game is not played one-on-one. You know why it ain't played one-on-one? Because I'd be the champ of the world if it was.
Or some of the time.
Lonzo don't want to see me. I'm too big, too strong.
Okay, well, some of the stuff he says is just stupid, but still. Anyways, after the whole Kristine Leahy situation,
stay in your lane,
Lavar Ball decided to use what is now seen as his catchphrase on a t-shirt. You and only you can now buy the
stay in your lane
t-shirts from BBB for a one-time payment of $50, $60 if you want the gold lettering. And I'm not gonna lie, if I had to buy a BBB product that has been released so far, this would be it. I mean, the only thing I would change about the shirt is if you had to put the BBB branding on it, I just wouldn't put it there. You know, put it on the sleeve or on the back near the top. So, you know, it just kind of stands out too much in the front for me. That being said, can you imagine what it would feel like to be Kristine Leahy right now? I mean, you get roasted and a shirt gets made out of it.
If you want to, work with Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour to maybe have something that appeals to women.
Welcome to Big Baller Zone.
That's savage. All of the NBA fans around the world rejoice. It is reported that Chris Paul has interest in the San Antonio Spurs. Now, this is actually no big surprise, but it is kind of like a sigh of relief, because after he verbally committed to an extension with the Clippers early in the year, people began to kind of question if he would even be interested in joining either the Spurs or the Pelicans or a team like that this summer. But that being said, don't get your hopes up. As great as it would be, since it will make the Spurs even more of a legit contenders and give us another top level team to watch, it isn't very likely, solely because of money. The Spurs don't have a lot of it going into this offseason. I mean, regardless of what team Paul would sign with, he'd be making far less money than if he were to stay with the Clippers, because he can sign with LA for a max contract of 5 years and $210 million. The most he could get from any other team is 4 years, $153 million, and the Spurs at the moment couldn't even offer him that if they wanted to without making significant sacrifices. I mean, right now the Spurs have around $19 million in cap space for the summer, and that's only if they don't bring back Ginobili, Mills, and Simmons. Ginobili is more realistic since he could very well just retire, but Mills and Simmons, they have both been huge contributors for the Spurs over the years. So let's say they don't bring those guys back, let them walk, as painful as that would be to do. The next thing that has to be done is to at least clear up at least another $14 to $15 million worth of cap space. At least. And looking at the salaries of their players for the next year, the best way to do that in my mind would be to try and find a team that could absorb the contract of Paul Gasol's $16 million contract. But finding a team that will be willing to take him on and do so without getting any real salary in return would be difficult. I mean, maybe Brooklyn does it, but any team willing to do it will ask for either a young player, aka DeJounte Murray, or a draft pick as well. So there's that option. Or you could do the same thing with a package of like Danny Green and who knows, maybe Dwayne Dedmon, or just some combination of players that equals 14 to 15 million. Then you would be able to sign Chris Paul, possibly, at the expense of completely gutting your depth. I mean, outside of Paul, Kawhi, and Aldridge, you'd be left with almost nothing. I mean, if you already have to let Simmons and Mills go, two of your biggest contributors, and on top of that, most likely had to part ways with Danny Green plus another player in order to sign CP3 and not have any cap space to get any other players to help fill out the roster, is it worth it? The Spurs have a lot of other options that could be had at far less than Chris Paul this summer. Who knows, maybe they test the trade waters for LaMarcus Aldridge, since I don't think they're getting quite what they expected out of him when they signed him. I mean, I read an article that had a good point of trading him to Phoenix for Eric Bledsoe, since Phoenix wanted him really badly when he was a free agent anyways. And honestly, I feel like that would be a better overall option for the Spurs. They'd still have the cap space to sign even more players. You know, someone to replace Aldridge. Maybe they still find a taker for Paul as well and then go after Paul Millsap this summer. Or they just go after vets like Taj Gibson, Serge Ibaka. Greg Monroe had a solid year off the bench from Milwaukee. He'll be available. Who knows, maybe just keeping Aldridge and going after another solid starting point guard who could be had this summer for less is an option too. A guy like George Hill, bring him back to San Antonio. It's just signing CP3, unless he's willing to take a massive, and I mean massive, we're talking about half pay cut for not even a guarantee, but just a chance of winning a championship. It's just so unlikely. And I think trading Aldridge for a guy like Bledsoe, who, in case you didn't know, had a phenomenal year for Phoenix last year and is much younger, like 4 years younger than Chris Paul, and then maybe trying to dump Gasol as well and then signing some better players, would just be a more realistic option for the Spurs going forward. And that leads us perfectly to the question of the day. What do you think the Spurs should do? Should they gut their team in order to go after CP3 or just look at their other options? Let me know down in the comment section below. But now let's take a look at what you guys said in yesterday's video. And yesterday, after Stephen A. Smith called Durant arrogant for saying that if people didn't like the playoffs, then not to watch, I asked you guys what you thought. And here's what you said. Durant has a point. I mean, what else do you want him to say? I'm sorry our team is dominant? Durant is right. If you don't like it, then don't watch. What does Stephen A. Smith even want? Does he want the Warriors to not give 100% in order to make the games close? Because that would be disrespectful to the game. Durant is perfectly correct in what he said. Stephen A. Smith is just taking a while to get over the fact that he signed with the Warriors. Like, come on, Stephen, move on. Yeah, Stephen A. Smith messed up this time. If you don't like it, don't watch it. That's just simple logic. No point in watching something you don't like and then complaining about it. Now, it would be disrespectful or arrogant if Katie said, I don't care if you like it or not, you're still gonna watch watch it. I mean, that would be more disrespectful, but KD did nothing wrong here. But that about wraps it up for today. Don't forget to leave your answer for today's question today down in the comment section below. But other than that, thank you once again for watching the video. Hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like on and subscribe for more daily NBA videos. And until tomorrow, keep getting the buckets, Team SEC, and I'm out of here. Peace!